There are two things that are absolutely true. Grandma loves you, and she would never say no to McDonald's. So treat yourself to a Grandma McFlurry with your order today. It's what Grandma would want. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. At participating McDonald's for a limited time.
We love spending this time with you. Thank you for listening. If you would like to take your listening experience to the next level, did you know there's a way to do that, J-Bo?
I do.
Yep, you know how you do it. You go to thetjshow.com, you sign up for the TJ Show newsletter, and you get cool things dropped right into your inbox, like the TJ Show's 10 shares. We pick 10 different things, everyone on the team does it, that we think you're going to love. It's not just about our show. This is about like stuff, music we're listening to, whatever it may be.
Life stuff.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole lot more in there. Sign up at thetjshow.com. This is the TJ Show. On Friday, I went into the weekend with very big goals, J-Bo. You may remember.
Okay.
I said there was one thing I wanted to accomplish this past weekend. Every time I wake my puppy Frankie up from her nap to take her outside to go to the bathroom, she yawns. Mm-hmm. And she makes the goofiest, weirdest little puppy sound. You're very familiar with it.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to capture this to be sure to share it with you on Monday. And I'm here to say, I'm not bragging, but I captured it.
Oh, good job.
I got not only one yawn, multiple puppy yawns for all of us to hear. Now, if you're expecting something big and grandiose, it's just a puppy yawn. But that is something that is really adorable, and I find it cute. And I just think she's the cutest little baby.
She's precious.
So I got this, and you ready to hear it?
I'm ready,
All right,
yeah.
Here I go. I'm getting ready to take her out.
Hi, Frankie.
See how I talk to her? Like she's a little baby.
Hi, baby.
Okay, there's one. You see the little squeak at the end? Mm-hmm. Here, see if you can do that, Kenny. You're good at animal sounds. No, the squeak's not there.
Yeah.
All right, here's another one now.
That kind of just turned into a real yawn.
Yeah, that's a human yawn. You're here. Here's
contagious.
Listen again. That's a puppy. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always Ewok-like.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, see, that one's not as good. I would say this was the standout, and I want to capture more. Go ahead. Yeah, there you go. Nice job.
I can smell the puppy breath.
Yeah, and she's got good breath still.
Does she? That puppy breath?
I like it. I sometimes take an inhalation on purpose. I don't mind it. She's very, very cute. And even if it's bad, I wouldn't know it because she's so cute. Now, because I captured these, I did team up with my puppy, Frankie, in a song. This is a new song that I wrote with Frankie. Puppy and me. That's my puppy Frankie. Puppy and me. That's my puppy Frankie. It's good stuff, right? Puppy and me. That's my puppy Frankie. I mean, think about when you hear a pop song for the first time. Does it always just work right away, or does it take a little listening to get used to it?
That's very like dance hall 80s music right there.
People are going to get used to it. And if you're mocking me right now because you don't think it's great art.
No, I just simply made a comment based on what I hear.
No, I know, but listen to it 1,000 more times like they tend to do. You know, like when the new song comes out, they play it 1,000 times until you have to like it. I think that's what's going to happen to this song right here.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe with a select group of people.
Well, hold on. Just give it a second try and see if it feels a little better this time. Here we go. Puppy and me. That's my puppy Frankie. See? Puppy and me. I see your leg moving, Kenny. That's my puppy Frankie.
The music video to this is you with big hair.
Yeah.
And carrying a dog around.
That's my puppy Frankie. See, it's catching on already. Yeah. I mean, I know I wrote the lyrics, but I'm singing them.
Yeah.
TJ's going on tour with Right Said Fred this summer.
I first heard about the practice of ducking from you, J-Bo. You informed me that Jeep owners will occasionally go out to their car and they'll find a rubber duck on it.
Yeah.
And Kenny, who is a Jeep owner, didn't even know that this was a thing.
No, I didn't know, and I've never been ducked.
And you have a friend named Passion. What a great name.
Yeah, it's a great name, yeah.
And she shares her experience because she bought a Jeep and was kind of bummed out at first because it wasn't happening.
Yeah.
And so let's hear her story, and then we're going to hear what Kenny did this past weekend, which sounds like a lot of work, to be honest. But I don't know. You decide if it's worth it or not.
Passion, you've owned a Jeep before. Have you ever experienced getting a rubber ducky? Is it legit?
Hi, J-Bo. 100%. It is legit.
There was a controversy recently on the internet where some influencer somewhere said that this is not a real thing,
Right.
and it never happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I saw the guy, he was convinced that anybody who had a duck on their Jeep bought that duck for themselves, that it wasn't actually a gift from another Jeep owner.
And that's why I was like, let me ask my friend Passion, because she owns a Jeep. And I know Kenny owns one. He's never gotten a duck, like we said. And I wanted to encourage him.
I will say it's my time as a Jeep owner for I think I had my baby Storm. Shout out to Storm.
Ooh, Storm the Jeep. It had a name.
She named it, yeah.
I think I had her for about 5 years, 6 years. And at the beginning, I got no duckies. I'm like, what's going on? That was a part of the selling point for me is I belong in this little club and it's going to be so cool.
What a reason to buy a car, huh? I might get some free rubber duckies.
One of the cool reasons to get a Jeep.
But then when I got it, I didn't get any duckies. And then once I got my first one, the floodgates opened. Target was my spot. I don't know if all the Jeep owners are at Target or shop at Target, but Target was my spot. Almost every single time I went to Target, I came out to a ducky. And it's such a good moment to know that someone noticed.
What is the psychology here? There's a little bit of joy, right? That must have to come over your body when you see that someone is having a good time, and it's it's peaceful, it's not harmful.
I think it also just tells Jeep owners hey, I see you.
How long have you had your Jeep, Kenny?
7 years?
7 years, never been ducked.
Not once.
I think you should park in the very first spot at Target, and hopefully somebody.
Can I put a sign on my windshield?
Because she had really good luck at Target, she said.
So I admire this massive waste of time that you've undertaken in your life. You want to be the change.
Well, I've started ducking. I bought 50 ducks on Amazon. And
oh my goodness.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, it feels a little sneaky, you don't want to be caught in the act, even though it's a harmless thing that you're doing and you're hopefully going to put a smile on somebody's face. But I like that whole sneaky aspect of it.
Yeah, you like being sneaky.
Yeah.
That's good.
I ducked 15 cars over the weekend.
15?
Yeah.
Did you get to see anyone's reaction?
No, not a one.
Yeah, I came out to my car on Friday after the show, and I see I've got 5 rubber duckies in my car. And I'm like, Kenny.
5? He OD'd.
Come on, man.
Kenny's supposed to do
Come on.
1, Kenny.
I'm assuming it was you, right, who parks right next to me?
What are you talking
I
about?
was walking around with rubber duckies.
Did you get ducked?
No.
You didn't?
I did not.
I ducked her desk.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, Kenny, I guess have fun with that. Let us know how it goes, and hopefully at some point you get your ducky.
Yeah, I've been writing little messages on mine too and autographing it. You
Did you?
suggested that. I didn't autograph any of yours.
He's
No.
just spreading joy, so.
You never know what becomes valuable in this world. And that could be the signed ducky from Kenny could be the thing.
Yeah.
Are you putting them on Jeeps or on just random cars?
Oh, yeah, I'm also breaking the rules. I'm putting them on all sorts of cars, but mostly
the Jeep
Jeeps.
community's going to come for you.
This is the TJ Show. This is some of the other stuff that's going on in the world that we don't often hear about. In a few moments, something's about to happen here that will likely make your summer. I don't know how serious you are about watermelons. It's my favorite fruit.
I feel bad for your wife because TJ's the kind of person that once summer hits, he buys 8 watermelons and they're massive and he loads up the fridge and then his wife just can't put anything in the fridge.
First of all, there's exaggeration happening right now.
I don't know about
It
that.
sounds like you've been hanging out with my wife because that's what she says. It's 2 watermelons.
And what are they, 20 pounds a piece?
Yeah, probably around there. They're huge. They're
Equivalent
huge.
of 8.
It does take up a lot of space in our refrigerator, but it's worth it. The other foods can wait.
Okay.
And I just devour them throughout the summer, and then I throw the rinds outside. I hope a watermelon tree is going to grow, or plant, vine. But anyway, in a few moments, we are going to play an interview that I did that I will say, and I've said it every year, is my favorite interview I've ever done. We reached out to the Watermelon Council. It's a place in Florida, and they gave me the way to find the right watermelon when we're at the grocery store. This is something that I struggled with for years. I always thought I had the right one. I'd go home, I'd open it up, and it'd be like all pink and pale and nasty. And it's like, well, at that point, you just buy a cucumber.
Yeah.
What are you even doing messing around with the watermelon? You need to know how to find the right watermelon. And there is a way. After they told me what their method is, I think I have about a 95% success rate. I might be one of the best watermelon pickers in America right now.
Toot toot. Tooting your own horn.
I mean,
huh?
there are other people that know this secret, obviously, but if you don't, you've got to know. You've got to jump on. Now, I don't know what happens to the other watermelons that aren't that great, but that's not for us to worry about. If we're in the know, we get to enjoy the best of the best watermelons this summer. So we're going to play that answer in a few moments. It's coming up. But first, I was going to ask you for a favor, and I think what I was about to ask for is illegal. And I don't really know how to decipher what this language on the U.S. Postal Service's website looks like. So maybe if you're a post carrier, maybe you can tell me if you know the answer to this. I was going to ask, because we broadcast just a car ride away from what I found out is the watermelon capital of the world. I was going to ask if you would ship me a watermelon, because I want to try a watermelon from that place. It's Cordell, Georgia. And then I go on the website, the U.S. Postal Service. It says fresh foods and other perishables. Vegetables are non-mailable unless presented in a dry, not dried, condition. Other perishable foods that are capable of easily decomposing or cannot reach their destination without spoiling are non-mailable. Packaging must be strong and securely sealed as required. What does that mean? Can you ship it or not?
It doesn't say no. I didn't hear a no in there. It doesn't say we can't do that. What I hear is you have to make sure you prepare it correctly to ship it.
So it's a lot of work to ship a watermelon, probably
That's
very
what I hear.
expensive.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to research this. If you happen to know the answer, or maybe if you go to the post office and you fully disclose what you're doing, if you're willing to ship us a watermelon, and it's legal, which we're looking into, I would love, and I would pay for shipping costs, whatever.
That's going to be pricey.
I don't care. I want to try watermelon from Cordell, Georgia, because I didn't know that was the watermelon capital of the world. I'm the biggest watermelon fan. I should have known that.
And you want the watermelon whole? Can it be chopped up or?
No.
It'll save you money.
No, I think that would be illegal. Based on what I'm reading here, if you chop it up.
No, you chop it up and put it like in some nice container.
Oh, yeah, I
It'll be
guess.
fine.
Wait a minute. If it's in a sealed Ziploc bag or multiple bags, wouldn't it be fine?
I would hope it's more than that, but yes.
If you know the answer, please reach out to us. I'm going to give you my email. Just email hello@thetjshow.com. I would love more than anything to get a watermelon in the mail this season. But listen, before we figure that out, in a few moments, you are going to get the secret. The one that I've found 95% success rate with of how to pick the right watermelon. It's coming up from the Watermelon Council in Florida on The TJ Show. The TJ Show is sponsored by Prize Picks. You want to play daily fantasy sports and it just seems so complicated? Well, what about Prize Picks for daily fantasy sports?
Prize Picks is cool because it's just you picking against stat projections, more or less on 2 to 6 players' stats. Everything from basketball finals, keep an eye out for star players for boosted payouts, and you can even use esports to add to your entries now.
Yeah, every Wednesday and Saturday in June, if your esport lineup doesn't win, you'll get your entry fee back. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what makes Prize Picks the #1 fantasy sports app. PrizePicks.com. Download the app today and use code TJShow for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code TJShow on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit PrizePicks.com for restrictions and details. PrizePicks.com. Have I said it enough?
PrizePicks.com.
You got me. This edition of the TJ Show is brought to us by Omaha Steaks. I'm so grateful for Omaha Steaks. They make Father's Day so easy. And dads love steaks. Mm-hmm. Kenny, does your dad love steaks?
You better believe it, TJ. I love a good ribeye.
One of my favorite memories of my dad is him grilling steaks. So I love it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to use the word easy, but who doesn't want easy gifts when you just know someone's going to love something? Mm-hmm. Why not? And we want to show our dads some love, right?
That's right.
My dad would definitely feel loved and does feel loved with steaks.
I have enough tools, all right?
Yeah, right. How many tools does your dad need? He's got them. With Father's Day right around the corner, what do you give the guy who seemingly has everything? An experience he'll never forget. Omaha Steaks. This Father's Day, try Omaha Steaks by going to omahasteaks.com. Use the promo code TJ at checkout for an additional discount when you shop gourmet gift packages for Father's Day. omahasteaks.com. Use the promo code TJ for exclusive savings.
I also like to save money.
It's checking off every box. This is the TJ Show. If this is your first time turning on your radio, well, you just stumbled across the right thing, and here's why. This has become a yearly tradition on our show. This is my favorite interview. Now, I've been on the radio for over 20 years in some capacity or another. And of all the interviews that I've done, of all the people that I've talked to, this is my favorite interview. I spoke with the National Watermelon Board. Now, these guys are in Florida, and they care deeply about watermelons. I also care deeply about watermelons, and I became frustrated with myself. I could never pick the right one. How do you do it? Is there a way? And they had the method. And so I reached out to them, and that was the first question I asked them. How do you find the right watermelon? And we treat this almost like the Christmas of produce. Once a year, we put this wisdom out there so you too can enjoy the perfect watermelon this summer season.
Well, I'm really glad that you found us here at the National Watermelon Promotion Board. For 30 years, we've been around trying to educate people. That's, in fact, the number one most asked question. How do I pick out the best watermelon?
Oh, my goodness.
You can go down quite the YouTube rabbit hole. But here, I will say that we promote the look, lift, turn, which is very simple. You look at it. You want to look at for a watermelon that's, has a nice surface, doesn't have any gashes or punctures. You want to lift it up. It is 92% water, so it needs to be heavy for its size. And that goes from the small ones all the way up to the big ones. It should be very heavy for its size. The third, in my opinion, is the most important. You turn it over and you're looking for the ground spot. It's a buttery yellow is ideal. And I'll tell you this, an underripe watermelon will not really have one, or maybe it's kind of white. It'll taste like a cucumber and probably not have a lot of color.
Right, I've been there.
An overripe watermelon, that happens a lot too. When you've got a screaming yellow, sunflower yellow, that's when you get sometimes those mushy, kind of grainy textured ones. They're really disappointing. They don't hold their shape.
Horrible. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I usually say you don't have to beat up the watermelons by slapping, knocking, thumping, kicking, whatever. Really, the look, lift, turn makes the most sense.
If someone sells you a completely rotten watermelon, is that on the store or is that on me for not knowing?
No, that's on the store. You should absolutely take that back. Because they also need to know that the rest of all those watermelons that arrived in that bin are probably also the same quality, and their customers are all going to be disappointed.
So keep bringing them back.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much for this information, Stephanie.
Oh, anytime. If you have any other watermelon questions that pop up, you've got my information, or you can find us through watermelon.org. We're here for everything you ever need watermelon.
What an honor. She actually talked to me, J-Bo.
She did great.
Ever since I used the look, lift, turn method, when that started in my life, I have a 95% success rate. I'm very confident in that number.
So LLT has been working for you?
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Is it okay to continue knocking on the watermelon?
No.
I like the sound it makes.
No, did you hear what
It
she
might
said?
knock back, though.
If it knocks back, run away. Fast. But no, that is something that when you realize people have no idea what they're doing when you walk past them knocking and listening. Like, what are you listening for?
I hold it up to my ear and I shake it.
Waves.
Yeah. Oh, I hear the
Waves
ocean.
of water.
This is a good one. So there it is. You know, and it's the buttery yellow. Because if you go too yellow, I mean, she's totally right.
Get mushy.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the TJ Show. Welcome to the Watermelon Club. You're in it now, because I found out something happened over the weekend. J-Bo, we're on almost 60 radio stations across the nation and beyond. I mean, we're on in Canada and the UK.
Right.
We are so honored to be on your radio. And every single day, if you're listening in a time that's not ours, like right now we're on your radio, but maybe later in the day in another 5 or 6 hours, you'll hear what's called a promo, where it gives you a little clip of what happened on the show.
Right.
Well, I found out this entire weekend, and I think this was producer Heather's decision. This entire weekend, we were replaying Kenny's apology to his girlfriend across the nation because he messed up last week. Can I play this for you?
Oh, that's good for his girlfriend, Allison.
Yeah, this is just a quick little preview of what aired over the weekend. Maybe you heard this as you were driving around. I think this is hilarious. Kenny wants to make a statement about his girlfriend, Allison.
Yesterday, I talked about how that Allison doesn't cook. She only can make frozen chicken fingers.
No, he said that thinking that would go over well.
Yeah, no.
And she got very upset.
Allison, I'm so sorry. I take it all back.
Did you guys get into a fight about that?
I wouldn't call it a fight.
So this aired, over and over and over and over and over.
Definitely a fight.
In all fairness to your girlfriend, now you're really sorry for what you said. It's not just like a one-off, toss it aside. Everyone heard it.
And that's how I wanted it to be. Everybody heard my initial criticism. They should also hear my apology.
I mean, who accuses their girlfriend of even if she can only make frozen dinners? You don't
isn't
say
true.
that. It's not, what is that?
That wasn't...
Okay, that wasn't
you
true.
gotta say it, Kenny.
She is capable of much more than frozen
Yes,
chicken fingers.
producer Heather.
I don't want to be dragged into any domestic disputes. I just pull the best clip of the day, and that to me was the best clip of the day.
Fine choice. Tennessee heard that. Texas heard it. Alaska.
Canada, the UK,
Key West. Yeah, they all
Well, they know.
Auburn.
Maine, most
Yeah,
New England.
South Dakota.
Heard that. Yeah.
Texas.
Yeah, Bloomington. I think Illinois.
Illinois,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty cool. So sorry, Kenny, that choice. Listen, we love you. And everyone has made bad choices and said things that they regret in their relationships. I'm sure J-Bo could think of something. I certainly can think of something.
But Heather making this a promo clip was not a bad choice. It was a great choice.
Yeah, I mean, that's never happened to me. But my wife, might as well be the same thing. I've had to say I'm sorry 15 times sometimes.
Yeah, me too.
No, I deserve it. I'm glad that this was played over and over and over again
Did
for
you get
multiple nations.
Little fight over the weekend and all? How was the awkward factor? Because I know you went on a long road trip with your girlfriend this weekend. Did it come up once?
No, it didn't come up at
That's
all.
cool.
You know, it did come up. You guys criticizing my outfit on Friday. It came up quite a bit.
Well, let me tell you something.
You guys owe her an apology.
If you missed that show, you have to go and listen to it on the podcast from Friday.
Yes, I know.
You have to.
Kenny came in, I mean, for no reason, dressed as a casino dealer.
This man was going on a cruise to deal cards for sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was unbelievable. And you would never think someone would wear it seriously, but he
Yes.
did.
No.
And of course, like when you're with a person who dresses like that, you have to make fun of
my
them.
gosh.
I mean, Kenny, you know that. You would make fun of someone who's dressed like that.
And I'm fine with it. I could take it. But Allison was not happy about the things you guys were saying about
well,
my
then
outfit. So
Allison shouldn't wear that outfit because she gonna hear it from us.
she forgot about all the things I said about the chicken nuggets.
Yes, producer Heather.
The funny thing is, I pulled 2 clips. That was the second clip, but I went with the first one.
You have to
Man.
listen to the show. This dude, he looked like a lemon tree. I'll just leave it at that.
Right. Yeah, very robust lemon tree.
Yes.
Lots of lemons on his shirt.
We did post a poll of the outfit. It was overwhelmingly that the outfit was fire emoji and
that
not the
can't
other
be.
way
No,
around.
I think they meant light it on fire.
Yeah, definitely.
This story is just so much fun. Why are we not treasure hunting on a regular basis? You keep seeing these headlines, and they're so good. I'm just going to read this to you. Get ready for it. Couple pulls up a safe with estimated $100,000 in cash while magnet fishing in a New York City park.
I keep hearing about magnet fishing, and I want to do it.
Yeah, apparently people purchase a high-powered magnet. They throw it into, you pick the body of water, and stuff sticks to it.
Yep.
Metal stuff.
Yep.
And this New York City couple, they tossed in a line with a strong magnet on the end of it. And this was on Friday afternoon. They felt something bulky on the other end. They pull out an old safe. And apparently this is nothing new because they've been doing this for a little while. They've seen safes before and have never found anything in it. Well, they pry this one open and they find 2 huge stacks of $100 bills wrapped in plastic. This guy, now a veteran magnet fisherman, says they expected this one to be empty just like all the others. Unfortunately, the bills were soaking wet, which means they were pretty much destroyed.
I bet you when they opened it, they were like, yes, jackpot. And then they started looking through it. They're like, no.
But I always thought when money's destroyed, you could get it replaced at the bank or something, right? I mean, isn't that part of the rule?
I guess, does the serial number still have to be on them? Because if it's destroyed that bad, the
That's
serial
true.
numbers might be difficult.
Yeah, how do you prove
I mean,
what it
I don't
is?
know, yeah.
No, that could be a very good point. Well, they did the right thing. They called the NYPD. They wanted to avoid any legal trouble. Bunch of cops showed up, mostly to just check out what the heck this was all about. It's a bizarre call to get over their radio. They told the couple they'd never seen anything like it. And because there was no way to ID the owner of the safe, which was likely stolen, the couple was allowed to keep what they found. So they got to keep this big mushy mess of bills,
Nice.
or once bills.
If I stole a safe, I would take the money out before throwing the safe into the body of water.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice.
I'm curious of that background story, yeah.
Right? They say that the finders keepers rule worked for them. They have the safe, and they said they first started magnet fishing when they got bored during the COVID lockdown. They said they always had this itch to become treasure hunters. That feels like me. I've always wanted to be a treasure hunter. So they discovered this thing called magnet fishing, and they say it's a hobby. They love it. And they found other treasures, including a World War II era grenade. They pulled that out of Sheepshead Bay in Brooklyn.
I'd put that right back if I was them.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah. 6 or 7 guns, some dating back to the 19th century in Flushing Meadows alone. This is so fun. Where can we find treasure? What do you think we have to do?
Those guns in the body of water has mob vibes on it. You have to go buy yourself a big magnet and go magnet fishing. Let's just start there.
I wonder what it costs for a magnet. We should look into this stuff. Hey, yes, producer Heather.
A similar situation happened to my parents. They were at an auction and they were purchasing some sort of shelf or cabinet for the garage. And when they opened it to go through it after they purchased it, they found like $3,000 in a duffel bag.
What?
Wow.
At an auction? Yeah. I love going to the auction.
Somebody did not look through that before they auctioned it off.
Whoa. So it always makes me wonder. I think with auctions, it's usually from the family of whoever is deceased or, or if it's the people selling their own stuff. You would think they would go through this stuff and know what's in there. Like, how do you miss that?
I don't know.
Mystery bag. We don't need to go through it.
Who cares?
Grandpa was, what could he have had? It's unbelievable. So
Or
cool
maybe there's
story.
a reason why they didn't look through the dollars in the bag.
Oh, who knows?
Because they knew the history.
So much mystery with treasure hunting, J-Bo. This edition of the TJ Show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Yeah, the year is going by quite quickly.
Bro, I blinked and it's gone.
Halfway there. And sometimes it's hard to take inventory on how we're doing.
Yeah.
And I think one of the ways to truly assess our progress is by talking to someone else about it. Therapists have made me realize, actually, maybe I'm further along than I think. Because our mind can play tricks on us.
That's right.
And we've got to talk through this kind of a thing. Whether you're celebrating big wins, small wins, whatever it is, knowing that you're winning or if you're not, how to change that is so valuable.
A win is a win, and therapy is a win.
I agree with you. If you've ever considered it, go to betterhelp.com/TJ. That's betterhelp.com/TJ. You fill out the questionnaire, you get linked up with a licensed therapist. If for some reason it's not a fit, you can switch therapists anytime, no additional fee. Take a moment, visit betterhelp.com/TJ today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp, HELP.com/TJ. betterhelp.com/TJ.
There are 2 things that are absolutely true. Grandma loves you, and she would never say no to McDonald's. So treat yourself to a Grandma McFlurry with your order today. It's what Grandma would want. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. At participating McDonald's for a limited time.
This is the TJ Show, our news. It sounds different around here. Kenny reads through every story he can find, and then he brings us the most interesting ones. Kenny, what's happening on the planet today?
In Irving, Texas, we're learning the story of Zaylin Washington. Zaylin just graduated from high school and he's headed to college next year, but what makes his story unique is the adversity he's faced throughout his young life. Reportedly, his parents were in and out of jail. He had to spend some time in foster care. He said, at the time, I didn't know it was broken because I thought it was me. I was the issue, having to go from place to place. Deep down, I felt like, what am I doing wrong? And then he said in 7th grade, he started playing football, and he said that's when he began to find the family he'd never known. By the time he got to his sophomore year of high school, he was homeless. He had a youth group pastor offer him somewhere to live, and he said this was the first time someone was choosing me, not having me forced on them. And he was able to focus on athletics and academics. So yes, he has graduated. He's headed to college with a full scholarship.
Wow.
And he'll be playing football next year.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah, what an incredible story. I've interviewed so many people who have wound up in homeless shelters, and the common thread through every story is that no one planned to be homeless.
Of course not.
And it found them in often just totally unexpected ways. So anytime there's an opportunity to pour into that community, it is amazing to see the transformations that are happening in shelters across the nation, but also in these little moments where it's like one-on-one care.
Yeah.
And here, this life has changed forever because someone said, wow, I see you, and I want to do something about it.
And the things that we experience in life, sometimes it's our doing, sometimes it's just the world we live in, sometimes it's the doing of other people onto us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Zaylin is inspiring. He said, I want to be more successful than anyone in my whole family. I want to be the first person to complete high school and go to college and actually have a six-figure paying job. I wanted to prove them wrong. He said, people do want to help you. It's not you versus the world.
Kenny, what else do you have?
Well, last week, Vox Media and The Atlantic signed a licensing deal with OpenAI to train its large language chatbot, ChatGPT. And it appears more and more media companies are warming up to this idea of teaming up with OpenAI. They've now joined the Wall Street Journal's owner, News Corp, the Financial Times, the Associated Press, Axel Springer, Reddit, and many more, all who have licensing deals with ChatGPT.
This is what this big fight has been about with the SAG-AFTRA union taking this mountain of content and just giving it over to ChatGPT. This is dangerous territory. And I wonder how many companies will take the big payday, the immediate gratification of some huge deal with the money they have right now. And then, does anyone see where this is going? I mean, I know I'll probably sound like I'm an ancient person who got it wrong. They could play this back in 100 years. Oh, can you believe? You know, he didn't like cars. But I can't see how this creates more jobs.
Well, in this case, you would hope to be wrong in 110 years from now than to be right.
Right.
Well, on the opposite end of the spectrum, the New York Times is in a ongoing lawsuit with OpenAI because they claim that OpenAI trained ChatGPT on their material without their permission. So at least it appears OpenAI is going through the proper channels to license the material they trained the chatbot with. But
now they're doing that.
Yeah, now they're doing it.
That's very nice of them.
Because I guess you want to pay maybe a couple $1 million now rather than maybe billions of dollars down the line, like which would be the case if New York Times does end up winning their lawsuit against OpenAI.
Goodness.
So, yeah, it's a weird, interesting situation that we're in.
Wild times. Kenny, what else do you have?
New research has found that almost half of Gen Z Americans feel like they're living a double life.
How so?
Well, they have a completely different personality or persona online versus their actual real life personality or persona.
Jabo, how close are you to your social media persona?
No, what you see is what you get.
Okay, very good. Good job. Kenny?
Yeah, same.
Really?
I think so. Or maybe I'm a little bit more wacky on social media.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm pretty wacky off social media
It's
too.
a gift to your followers, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's just Gen Zs only. I mean, I consume YouTube videos of certain influencers, and I'm sure they're not Gen Zs, but I'm sure they act differently in real life than they do online.
Yeah,
I think it's more so the person.
Haven't people for centuries been using masks and presenting themselves in a different way than
Look
they
at
really
entertainers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, so this was a survey commissioned by Lenovo, and they asked 2,000 American respondents split evenly by generation about their digital selves. And it seems that 46% of Gen Z said they have this double life, and that statistic gets lesser and lesser as you get older and older via generations. For instance, 49% of millennials feel that way, 35% of Gen X, and less than a quarter, 23% of baby boomers said they have this double life online and in the real world.
Yeah, I think more people need to take on the personality of 90-plus-year-olds because they don't care. They will tell you exactly how it is. Doesn't matter where you are. And that's admirable. I like that. That's why I like hanging around 90-year-olds.
Another interesting thing with Gen Z, respondents were asked if they were keeping their online persona a secret from family members, and 1/5 of respondents said that indeed they're doing that. So they have this whole secret other side of them that the people closest to them don't even know.
The thing with secrets, though, is that you have to keep track of what you've said, the lies, the secrets you've told or didn't tell, and keep track of that. And that's just too heavy, too much weight.
A lot of work, and very rarely does someone carry that ball all the way to the finish line, right?
Right.
I don't even know if that's a sports reference. I meant the end zone. Kenny, what else do you have?
Viral video, TJ, that you must see. A bear was caught on camera breaking into a California home and leaving with one item, a package of Oreo cookies.
Ah, there you go.
Oh, what you didn't see is that bear brought those Oreo cookies to me because I love me some Oreo cookies.
Yeah, you had me at bear.
I know.
I wanted to know everything.
And apparently this bear is known for doing that. Another resident of this neighborhood said that the bear broke into her garage to steal chocolate cake from her refrigerator.
Once again, brought it to me. This bear. We work together.
Bears do not have two personalities. You get what you see.
Yep.
What else do you have?
It appears Mike Tyson's fight with Jake Paul has been postponed officially.
Oh, that's interesting. We were talking about this, what was it, last week?
Last week.
Yeah, he had a medical situation.
Yeah, he was on a plane, and I just assumed it was a strategy of war, like he's getting into Jake Paul's head a little bit. But now if they're postponing it, is he okay?
Well, he had an ulcer flare-up, and his doctors are saying that he can only participate in minimal to light training over the next few weeks, and then a full return to training with no limitations. So according to the fight promoter, both Mike and Jake are in agreement that it is only fair to ensure that both athletes have equal training time to prepare for the important match and are able to compete at their highest level.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, Mike Tyson's been training for decades now, but sure, yeah. I get it. Yeah.
So is Jake being nice about it?
Yeah, at this point, it does appear. I mean, I haven't heard any comments from Jake directly, but according to the fight promoter, who is essentially quoting Jake, both teams are on board with this. Now, this is less than a week after this medical episode that occurred on a flight where Mike Tyson experienced an ulcer flare-up. You may remember Jake Paul immediately got online and said, you people are making stuff up, the fight is still on, so on and so forth. But it does appear that this medical episode is forcing the fight to be postponed. It was originally scheduled for July 20th at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas.
If this happens, I still think Tyson's got it. I'd be surprised if he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he'd still get it, right? What happens if he does it?
I don't know.
How do you walk away with your head down from that?
I'd
You
be
can't.
surprised. I really would be shocked if he lost. But I also think it's like, do you really want to be fighting someone that much older than you? Like, just there's something about it that feels weird to me. But I'm sure they're making a big payday.
Of course, for sure.
They're fine
Everybody's
with the weirdness.
Getting paid. Now, the fight hasn't been rescheduled as of yet, but they do say that they want to do it at some point this year. So later this year, and hopefully soon we'll get an official date on when it will take place.
Kenny, thanks for keeping us somewhat informed.
That's what's happening.